Namaste and welcome to yet another episode of the Influence Academy with myself, Ahmad Shah. The following conversation is with Mr. Sami Mohmand, who was born in Laghman Province in Afghanistan. He served as a cultural advisor in International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan for nearly a decade, and also was a temporary advisor in Afghanistan Parliament in 2017. He's currently a director of Afghanistan Youth Ambassadors in 34 provinces in Afghanistan. He's also a coordinator of Sweden and Afghanistan in youth affairs and also a representative of South Asian countries in SAARC. He has provided countless service in various programs for women, children, and youth. He is a recipient of numerous awards and is recognized by 159 countries as the best young leaders globally. A quick mention to our sponsors, Extra Tech and 3B's Education and Migration. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Sami to our show. How are you, Sami?
Good, thank you.
How is the day-to-day been like in these pandemic times?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I do appreciate and thank you for the invitation and giving me the chance to speak through your channel. And a big hello, and I want successful and good health to people that are watching me.
So let's start with your journey. You were born and raised in Afghanistan, and it was a peaceful country, but unfortunately the times have changed. So how was your life back then, and how did the things change so drastically?
Afghanistan was a peaceful country when the war was not brought to Afghanistan. But currently we cannot say it's a peaceful country. Every child or children of Afghanistan in their life they have grown up like a movie. When we are saying movie, we see a lot of movies that it's just picture on the camera, how they grow up, what difficulties they see. Where I was born, it is called Laghman Province. It's 2 hours plus from the main city of capital of Afghanistan. My background is from a poor family, which my dad's background is a army officer. He served for 4 years for Afghan army. Basically, we were not someone from a rich family, but of course from an educated family. Even though in our relatives, my dad's siblings, we were the poorest family. I remember 25 years ago, I was a child. These are the stories that I'm telling you because you said how you raised up. So 25 years ago, I remember my father during the war, he got injured and he was in the hospital. My uncle, the siblings of my dad, they were telling my mom to. That time we were just 3 children, but now, alhamdulillah, we are 11. The siblings of my dad were telling my mom to take your children and die, or go drown yourself in a river, because we will not help you and your husband is in jail. I remember one of my uncle was the commander for a army department. And I was carrying my grandmother, which was his own mother as well. She was sick. I was carrying on a wheelchair to hospital, nearly 20 kilometers. But he was driving past. He had cars. He didn't stop. I do remember that 25 years ago, because we were the poorest family in my dad's siblings. Over one chili, one of my uncles stabbed by knife my dad. I did forgive those people in my life. It's not because they deserve forgiveness, but I deserve peace. But that pain of 25 years ago is still my heart. My heart still hurts. It still bleeds because of that painful times that we had. They didn't stay. There is a saying that don't trust anybody. Even your shadow will leave you in darkness. So we were in a darkness time, they left us. But after education, my father, like a hero, raised us, and we did well educated. And the time came that we were all in power. I started business for the same people, they were my employee. Their sons, their daughters, they were my employees. They were working in my company. I give them land. I give them houses to stay. To the same people who did bad to us. It is saying that don't worry what people says, but that one day will come that those people will regret who were talking bad behind you. And that they came. After 10 years, when we grew up, I had the nicest car going to their house to visit them. And they didn't have anything. So this is what I'm explaining is if people are, it's saying that when God gives you financially standards, don't put your life standard, don't rise your life standards. Rise your giving standards to charity. And when life knocks you down, turn back to Allah. But when life puts you in a higher position financially, knee down and turn back to Allah. That's what I did. And those people who have given us difficult time, they were all my employees. They might see me through social media or TV or channels. I'm saying again, after when we grow up, life is not easy at all. And success is not a gift from someone. It needs hard work, it needs honesty, it needs plan, it needs target. I was shot 3 times in this journey that I'm here today. I don't mean Australia, but I mean the level that I am. Of course, it's not the last level that I need to go more. I've been hurt in suicide attacks, but I never give up. I stand up again for justice and speak up. I've been shot 2 times in my leg, in my belly. I stand up again, even though my family, because I'm their child, they asked me to stay home, don't do anything, we don't want to lose you. But still, I didn't give up and I moved on. The day will come that I will bring those people to justice table that who kidnapped my brother and government didn't help me. They kidnapped my brother. They hang him on the roof of the house. His 2 arms are still disabled since 2015 or 15. But I know the people who did it. We have government in Afghanistan. We have authorities, we have justice, but nobody helped me. But the day will come that I myself will bring them to the table of justice.
Wow, Sami, thank you for sharing that with us.
Welcome.
Sami, what is life day to day in Afghanistan?
The life in Afghanistan, it says that we have 2 lives in Afghanistan. One, speak up for justice and you will get killed at the end. Second, stay silent and you still get killed in Afghanistan, especially for young generation. See, we have government authorities. In war, there are young people dying every day. We have insurgents parties, young people dying every day. So at both sides, we're losing young people. It's not for the benefit of the country. I'm telling both parties, it's just for the benefit of political games and stories, for the benefit of their pockets. As an Afghan, I do proud that I have a government, but as an Afghan, sometimes it's shame for me for the corruptions that we have in the country. The things that comes to the story of my life that I'm telling you, it's not just my life. It's everyone's in Afghanistan. But that's because of the leaders that we have. Because of those leaders that they're selling their country, because of the leaders that they're helping tourist groups to grow up in Afghanistan.
So you have been heavily involved in community service, and you're a great speaker for youth globally, internationally, and nationally. So what motivated you to do good for community?
I started the community long ago. Of course, I started from Afghanistan and I went globally. I have traveled to more than 22, 23 countries, and I had more than 50 peace conferences, global youth summits, and in different countries, South Asia, Europe, here. Mostly in Afghanistan, I was inviting people. But I always speak up for justice and peace, because the thing that Afghan people are thirsty of, it's peace. And I will tell you one story from Nepal, that when we landed in Nepal at the airport, the immigration, when they saw the passport of one of my participants that he was going to participate in global peace. The immigration people said, "Oh, you guys came from Afghanistan. I need 5 minutes to talk to you guys." And I knew what he was going to say. And because I had experienced that his question was like, "Are you going to stay or go back? Are you going to skip from here?" No. This is a responsibility for immigration. Of course, that's the rule, and we respect that. I told that officer that, "No, sir, you don't need 10 minutes, you need 1 hour, because I need to explain what Afghans are, but I cannot finish it in 1 hour." And he's like, "Okay." So when I explained that Afghanistan is not what you see in TV, in media, and when political games are making it. I'm in front of you, this is me, I'm an Afghan. So I explain like what people and what young generation want. At the end, he scheduled VIP cars, he respect us a lot, he give us drinks, water, everything. So my point is basically, is what view people has about Afghans, that's not real Afghan. It's just media, and they're just political games. I have worked for women and children rights at the province that I've born and the province that I've grown up. I remember that there was no school for women. The first one the province, the area that I was living, I opened a school for women. I was always telling the people that, of course, you have heard through media, these are true things in Afghanistan, that they don't respect their wife, their mom, their sisters, because they're female. And I always tell them that when you marry, or when you have sister, or when you have mother, basically woman, don't think that it's your property. Love her, respect her, care her, and give her a reason to love you back, to respect you back. So I find, like, there was abuse of children and women was 99%. But I have worked. As I am Muslim, most of the people in Afghanistan said that you're not Muslim because you're working for women. But if you study our religion, if you study Islam, they have given a high, how to explain, a high position for the women in our religion, in Islam. Same thing for children, the way they live, the way they grow up. But of course, it's not just fault of the people. Back it goes to the government that there is not a lot of ability and possibility for children they're growing up. I was elected when I got the Global Peace Ambassador Award. From each province of Afghanistan, I traveled and I took their message to international youth community. What they want. In international youth community, the group that we had from 159 countries, they have reviewed all the documentation. I had more travels and I had more messages from different people. And I was the one that Nepal people knows, India, SAARC countries, everyone, that I met like multiculturalism, like brought Afghan people to different countries to know what Afghan people and what Afghan young generation wants from international youth society. Back then, we have traveled in one of the forest cities of India. I took with me from the countryside of Afghanistan those people that they're away from media, that they're away from social media, from TVs, from politics, from everything. Those are the people that they speak. What are their hearts? What they want in Afghanistan? We don't have schools. Those people are not educated, but they do want to educate. It's all lack of education. We have two types of people in Afghanistan: lack of education, who doesn't know anything. They just help terrorist groups. We have leaders that they're educated, but they still help. We need to find something. I started volunteerism first thing in Afghanistan. Community works, volunteerism. We had a youth deputy minister. His name was Kamal, Dr. Kamal Sadat. Together with him, we established youth volunteerism, community works. We, of course, the power that we had, it was not officially from the government or from the state departments or from country department, but the way that the much that we could, we did. But in return, I told you, we got injured, we got hit, we were threatened to death, but still we never give up.
As you mentioned that you won awards for Global Youth Leader and Global Peace Ambassador, and it was by a colossal vote of 147 out of 159 countries, and it's pretty commendable. And you've been awarded at Asian Development Awards in 2018 as well, and well, you have provided countless services, as you said, in various programs for women, children, and youth. So there's a long list of awards and nominations on your name. So what was the experience like receiving those awards?
The experience that I was getting out of the awards was encouraged. Any award that I received was giving me more encourage, more power, more ability to serve more as a volunteer for the charity. Of course, I had a lot of awards that are not on my mind that you asked that what were they: Global Peace Ambassador, Best Leader Speaker, Asian Leadership. There was a lot, I don't remember. I had more than 29, 30 awards. But all of them were giving me more positive power to help the community more. When I was traveling to countryside of the, let's say, Nepal or Afghanistan, of course there are differences between people lives in the city and people lives in the countryside, and they were saying that we are poor. And I was telling them, if you have a bed to sleep, if you have a roof on top of you, if you have a fridge to put your food, you're richer than 75% of world population. You're not poor. So even though I was giving them hopes that one day the world will not stay the same, everything will change, and we will reach to our goals. But the awards that I was getting was not just for me. I always thought it's belong, and I still think that it's belong to my people behind me. It's belong to those people who support me. I have a really good and bad, let's say positive and negative story. When I was elected for Global Peace Ambassador, when I had 147 votes, but I didn't have a vote from Afghanistan. I am from Afghanistan, but I didn't have a vote from Afghanistan. That means that there are still people that they have jealousy, there are still people that they want to destroy people, that there are still people that they don't want to see someone's success. And on the top of that, I didn't get vote from Afghanistan. The person that was elected to vote for this program, he sent an extra email saying that different things behind me that was not true. But luckily I replied that email when I became the Global Peace Ambassador. And I told, because the background that and of course the viewers, the watchers and people who see me, that they might ask that why he did that. So we had a kind of campaign and program in 2017 in Afghanistan. We were bringing up all those active youths who wants to be as a volunteer and who are active in their provinces and their areas. Out of 10, we were getting one out of the province and bringing him to the capital of. So basically, it was a youth learning government. This guy was elected in that province, and it was all the votes were through SMS, phone SMS, and he did corruption. He did many SIM cards. He paid that thing to make their votes up. So I captured him, and I removed him from the list, which is legal, and I don't want corruptions in between young people, youth generation. So that was the background that why he did that. My message to everyone that we need to support each other. We need to help each other. Life is not just like work for yourself, get money, build a house for yourself, get good food, or dress up good. We need to think about more people to help them grow up with us. If you go high, if you rise high, if you get, let's say you get on a top level, that's just you. But if you pick everyone at least one step, if you go 2 steps, take someone 1 step with you. Trust me, you will not have any tension in the world. World will be fixed, but we don't have yet. That's the speed.
So what would you say is the most challenging part of being a volunteer social worker?
Especially to the countries that it's their poor country. They always ask for salary. It's very difficult. Even when you ask for volunteerism, of course, there is no salary. People ask for salary. That's very challenging to convince them and tell them that one day we will have all salary, but now we need to work for change. We need to bring changes, positive changes. Second thing, people mostly work for bribe. If you don't pay them something, they don't work. This is what we're facing, most of the Asian countries. But that's good that we had a positive outcome from volunteerism. It all needs for a campaign, for convenience, to talk, to set, open their minds. Like, what is the outcome if we do volunteerism? What will be the future of it? Like, what will be the outcome for the community, for yourself, for your family? Of course, I do confirm, I do approve that, yes, people need to earn money for their family. But everything starts from volunteerism. You have to have a target. Let's say today is January. I need to do volunteerism from today till February. After February, what do I need to be? What do I need to be at the end of this year, 2021? So if you put a target, if you make a plan, doesn't matter if you're working for 1 month or 2 months, but you have plan in your future. You do face difficulties. You do face people that they don't want you to success. But you have to, in advance, you have to have a way to remove them from your side. Not in a positive way to fight with him, to kill with him, or to get rid of him from your way, but no, in a nice way, in a plan that remove him from your way and have him to move with you on.
There is a trend that, in the name of charity, various NGOs and INGOs deduct a significant amount of money in administrative expenses, and needy people only gets around 30% of the donated amount. So, and rest of the is spent on office equipment and salaries, as you mentioned, and admin charges. In your opinion, how to effectively make those those donations need reach the needy?
Okay, I had a lot of experience at the start of my work when I was getting charity helps. I was doing it through the organizations in Afghanistan. And like you're saying that 30% goes to charity, but in Afghanistan only 2% will go to the charity. But the best way is to, when you get charity helps, yourself, don't make it second hand. First hand should divide it, distribute it to the children of needy people. I'll give you an example. I have a business here, and my containers are going to Dubai and Dubai from Afghanistan. So I have 4 meters of space in my each container for charity helps. We have schools that children are traveling 1 hour, they're walking. No cars, no bikes, no bicycles. I'm sending them bikes to ride bikes and go to school. That's called charity, and I'm not giving it to anyone. It's straight going to the children in the villages. They're not going to any ministry, they're not going to any department, they're not going to any organization. Straight, they're going, my family will distribute it to the needy children. Same here. If somebody wants to help, let's say 10,000 to an organization for charity, he can spend that 200 to book a flight and distribute it to the people of needy children. Those people that, see, I mentioned already, charity, people take bribes from everywhere, but when you take money out of the charity helps, that's something shame for them. That's something that they shouldn't do it. The excuse is that, okay, we have office, we have administration fee and stuff, but that doesn't cost that much. 70%, 80% that you're deducting from the charity helps, it doesn't cost you that much. That is one reason that the poor people are still poor and the rich people are getting richer. So
you are the coordinator of Sweden and Afghanistan for Youth Affairs, and also you're representative of South Asian countries in SAARC. So what are the programs that you do, and how can the public from South Asian community do to support your goals?
When we did money youth summits, global youth summits before COVID-19. And then we were planning in Sweden, in Australia, in SAARC countries, we were planning more. In youth affairs, they saw my abilities that it was not just that I was introducing the youths to the conferences, but I was doing their visas, their work processes, their documentation, their passports, everything. So then they selected me as a representative, not just Sweden, but most of the countries, to introduce youth and bring them to the conferences so they can learn and they can get to know each other with the world youth generation. From Afghanistan, I sent many of them. I always was my request from the youth to support us, to join us. What we do, join us. If you think that we are doing wrong, advise us that this is wrong. If you think you're right, tell us, we will move to that way. If we think you're wrong, we will advise you. The goal that we are putting in, the target that we have for the youth. Of course, most of the focus that we had on global conferences was education and courses that we were having for Afghan youth. Of course, not just Afghan, the community that we had in peace conferences, which we had a really good outcome in support of people. If young generation cannot reach to us because we are in different countries, they should start their own group in their country, their own group in their village or area that they're living. It's not like every country, every province, every district, every village, they're fully on top of the level. Everybody needs something. They should start from their own. They should start. When I started, the first speech that I had, I said I started from my house. The charity works, the volunteerism, the help, the changes, positive changes, I started from my house. So start from your house. Go to community, go to public, go to other provinces, and spread love, spread peace. It doesn't mean that you come join us. It means like you do what is good for the community. You do positive work from where you live, from your house. Start.
So what community projects are you currently on?
We have our tribes own a hospital in Afghanistan, which is my last name, Mohmand Hospital. This is a tribe movement. That's mostly for needy people, free hospital. And every month of Ramadan, it's totally free for everyone. As I said that I'm helping charity needy people for bicycles. In Afghanistan, I have a contract with Indian hospitals that they're doing free treatment. I have in many countries, I have scholarship for students that they're doing free educations. Courses are short and long-term courses. For the children, for women rights, I have a group who are fighting for the women and children rights in Afghanistan, which is the hardest part. So few projects, but there are none of them found by anyone. Like this is I'm doing on my own.
You've been a business person for a long time, and you managed a firm established in 1997 and in the field of transportation, logistics and construction. So back in Afghanistan and here as well. So, and you have a car dealership here as well. So in your opinion, what are the things that one needs to consider to run a business since you operate like multinational companies?
When I start, I had a teacher back then. He told me that you start your business with 5 Afghani. 5 Afghani is like 10 cents. Buy one pen and one paper and pick your plan. That's what you need to do. 1997, that was the start of the company. I didn't even have that much money to start. So basically in 2004, 2007 to 8, when coalition forces came to Afghanistan, I started business with them. Of course, that time I had partners with me. I was always making my plan up, like what kind of business I should do, where should I be in this month, in this year. Then I made a logistic company which I covered all southern provinces of Afghanistan, RC South, for transportation. And then I had deliveries from Kuwait, from Dubai. My company was one of the top of companies called AK Logistics in Afghanistan, southern provinces, just southern provinces. That was a top of company. Then, of course, in each field you face difficulties from jealous people, from bad people, from mafia people wants money. As you said that I was the advisor and cultural advisor in Afghanistan, and I also served as an interpreter for American and Australian Defense Forces. When I moved here, it was very difficult for me to start a business here and knowing nothing, because it was my first time. We had a conference in Australia back then. I missed it. I couldn't make it. I think I was in another country. But when I came here, it was very difficult and very hard for me, especially that everything needs to be documented. For everything, you have to have a license and approval. Back then, I even didn't have a license. So, getting advices from different people, I started to put my plan on the paper, and I was like, okay, if you want to leave Afghanistan, that's one thing that I'll never leave Afghanistan. I'll go back again. I went there last year. I will go again. I will never leave my politician field. So I plan to open a car dealer or spare part, let's say, repair, to send from here to Afghanistan, because Afghanistan still doesn't have factories and companies to produce cars and stuff. They all use second-hand or export from here, the new ones. In 7 months, I built up the whole company. I rented the yard. I bought trucks, cars, get financially support from Afghanistan, because I didn't have anything here. Now it's running. We're sending containers to Afghanistan, to Dubai. It looks very hard at the start, especially to a country you're just new. But the good thing is in this country that there are rules, and you apply that, you're moving on. There is no bribe, like in our country, that you're not passing. You're waiting for one signature 2 months, and at the end they're asking you money. For every person, rules applies, and for everyone is the same. That's the good thing. And successfully I made it, and now it's nearly a year that's running, and I've sent a lot of containers to Afghanistan, and I'm waiting for the result to sell them and know that.
So what difference did you find between Afghanistan and Australia in terms of sustaining businesses?
The differences are, I'll just give a few examples. When I send let's say one container from Australia to Dubai, it just go without any issues and any problems. When it reaches to Dubai, from Dubai to Afghanistan, on the way, I'm not talking about the tax that I have to pay, that's legal, but on the way there are a lot of more groups that you have to get in trouble with them, pay them, and get your container to the location. You have to pay bribe the authorities that they're responsible to move your things, to get your things from there. Everything is a headache in Afghanistan. This was the reason that I went to politics in Afghanistan. Otherwise, I was doing my business. Why I need to go to politics? But if you don't have people in politics, you cannot do business in Afghanistan. But here, follow the rules and you do your business successfully. Afghanistan, it's way difficult, way different. Who doesn't want to invest in their country? Everybody wants to invest in their own country. But when there is fraud in their country, when a businessman getting kidnapped, when a businessman getting killed, when families and life threat, death threat, so who's going to invest? Of course, no one. There is big difference between Australia and Afghanistan.
Sami, we're coming to the end of our program. Would you like to say some few words to our viewers?
I've mentioned everything to them. The only thing that is left, I always say that peace starts with a smile. Get together, build this country. Don't mean this country, I mean that countries that, this country is already built up, and we still need to do more positive work. Choose your friends, choose your people who are sitting with, not with the negative people. we have three kinds of people in our life. Friend for a reason, friend for a season, and friend for a lifetime. So choose lifetime and stay away from the negative people who lie to you, and people who wants to put you down. Stay from those people, and I guarantee you will be success.
Wow, that's very inspiring, and the work you do is really commendable, Sami.
Thank you.
And we hope to reach more of our viewers, globally, where we can, share your work, share your life story. And obviously, I think it inspired me and inspired every one of the viewers who are listening and who will be listening to our conversation.
We will have more stories from different people, and if you want, I can help you. I can get short videos or people who live here. Of course, people wants to know stories from different religion, different culture, different provinces, different countries. Every country, especially the wars that are going in Afghanistan, the life of children, the future of these people. As an Afghan, I'm saying that we will still have a zero future. So everybody wants to know something more, and I know that there are YouTube, there are Google. What question comes to the mind, and they search it, and whatever is provided there, they say, "Oh, that's it." But no, we need to get more people to share their stories, to know what is the real story behind the scene, not. I checked everything. Let's say if I'm traveling to a country, I put it in Google, I see one thing. When I go there face to face, I see different thing. So yes, we need more people to share their stories.
Well, we wish you all the best for your successful endeavors, Sami, and the work you do is really commendable, and I think it needs to be seen and heard from people all over the world.
Thank you so much, and thanks for the invitation.
Thank you. On that note, I would like to end tonight's episode. We'll be back next week with more influential stories to share. Until then, stay safe, stay influenced, and thank you for watching Everest TV. Thank you.